Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday Paranormal Brew Show. I'm Nighthawk, one of your hosts. We've got Eric waiting there backstage here, behind the copyright disclaimer. You'll see his fluffy, beautiful face here in a moment. And we got quite the show today. We're going to cover several different topics. You guys are going to be I'm going to question you guys in the chat like you've never been interrogated before. Okay. We've got some things we need to talk about. We've got the drone issue of all the drones that everybody's seeing over New York and New Jersey, and I believe parts of South Carolina and even Florida. We've got we've got to discuss the Immortals again because apparently if Stuart's in the chat, he sent me a clip of a young lady that was confirming everything I said about the Immortals. Imagine that. And she used dowsing rods to do it. Okay. And everything else that I've tried to confirm to everybody that nobody really wants to take seriously, apparently. But anyways, when that, young lady came out and said all of it, apparently everybody agreed with her. So Nighthawk must be just a stick in the mud. So I think I'm gonna get me an AI, Eric, and I'm gonna do it up like the weather girl, and and make it all attractive for everybody, so that the audience will actually believe what I say. But anyways, that goes without saying. We got so many different subjects today. That's just two of them. We got the cloning issue. We got, literally, you guys will not believe it. I've been working on all kinds of time slip scenarios and basically the 80-year war theory. We're going to get into all that and more today on the Saturday morning Paranormal Brew Show. Okay, so the disclaimer is Nighthawk High Strange, this podcast channel declares fair use of any and all content, including the music. Okay, that's for all my African friends out there in the continent of Africa that claim that it's theirs out of Nigeria. Anyways, fair use of any and all content to be used for the purposes of informing you, the viewing family, of information for criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, which you guys know I love parody, Saturday Night Live, and of course entertainment value, which Eric is, and I love to entertain everybody. That's why we wisecrack a lot. And per Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known as the Fair Use Act. That was perfect timing, Eric. All righty. Good morning, everybody. Let me go over here to the comment section real quick and say hello to everybody. Oh, Juno's in the house. I see. Good. Yeah. Holy crap, we already got people in here. There's that E.D. Testerman. I hope that Roxanne's in there. Poncho, good to see you. Nice. Larry, good to see you, Larry. All righty, let's see. Who else we got? We got Roger. Good to see you, Roger. We got Hobbit. Synthetic Hobbit. Oh, my God. Good to see you, man. Juno, brother. Okay, let's see here. Who else we got? I know we got more than that. It's good to see everybody, though. Much love to everybody in the chat. You guys are family, and that's why we enjoy picking your brains every Saturday and Sunday morning, because without you guys, our theories and our research really don't amount to a whole hell of a lot. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, thank you all for your comments and stuff and your follows and stuff in the chat and everything you do for the paranormal community, the supernatural community, and the cryptid community. Because without you guys, us researchers and investigators wouldn't be worth a damn. We really wouldn't. You guys are the backbone.
I don't have my cowbells no
So.
more. I'll have to get one, Roger.
Uno Juno. Poncho. Poncho
Oh,
called
no, Poncho.
Uno Juno. Hey, Uno's a cool game, man. There's actually
Everybody's
people
wanting
that
a cowbell.
there's actually people out there that use the Uno cards to read people's future.
I've heard of that. Thriller.
Yeah,
Hey, how's it going, Thriller?
Hey, James, good to see you. But yeah, we're gonna get into all kinds of weird subjects. So, what you got going on there, Eric?
So tonight I will not have a show. Tonight is the second, my daughter's second theater show. So I'm going to be there. That's why I wasn't on last night. As I was at her show. Hey, Dead Wolf.
Hey, Dead Wolf.
I'm not going to have a show tonight. Now, I'm also, you guys, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, The Bizarre and the Unknown, you might want to. I was showing William, and I've showed DA. I have captured something on my thermal Tuesday night. Something very interesting. Yeah, I'm currently working on the video now, but it's pretty compelling. It really is pretty compelling.
No way.
No show, no bueno. Yeah, so I'm not going to come out and say 100% this is what it is, but what we've all noticed, the three of us have noticed, it's pretty compelling, and I can honestly say, I don't know about you, William, but I know me and DA can pretty much honestly say it was definitely something there.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. Whether it's definitely something there, folks. So I would definitely, if like he said, I would get to his YouTube channel and subscribe because, or at least make sure you're still subscribed and do that for us too, because they keep on unsubscribing people, and it's not just us; it's all the big podcasters too that they're doing that too. Hey, Lori, good to see you.
Hey,
Roxanne,
hey, Lori. Hey, Roxanne. Yeah, do any content creator that you're following, please make sure you're still subscribed to them, and also check that bell button. Make sure that bell button is on all and not private. You'll miss so many shows from your content creators because they move the bell icon from all to private. So please, any content creator that you follow on your YouTube platform, go in, make sure you're still subscribed, and make sure that you're there. Hey, Second Amendment. There's 2A, sorry. That you're still got that, got stuff going on.
Yeah. Also, I want to let everybody know too, December 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we've got our Christmas special, and it's going to be a good one. Okay. There's going to you're not only going to be stuck with me and Eric, you're going to be stuck with my really good brother, Ron Howes, the biker Bigfoot. We're going to talk about what he does and stuff and why he does it. And he is a phenomenal guy. If you guys don't know him and you don't follow him, subscribe, follow Biker Bigfoot and Ron Howes, and you will be amazed at the stuff that he does. He's a military vet like Eric and myself, and he is a big supporter and advocate to help out our soldiers that suffer from PTSD. He's a brother, and if you guys don't follow him, you got to. He's a phenomenal guy. He just got a brand new 4-legged son named Spaghetti Yeti, and they do all kinds of funny videos with him, and that dog is incredible. It's a beautiful, beautiful big dog, and yes, it looks like it does have some wolf in it. So he asked me that one time a while ago when he first got the dog, and I actually had just given Ron his Native American name recently, so I went through the whole you know rigmarole with how we do it, and then you have to really, when it comes to a name, you just don't want to give them an instant name. You got to take your time, and naming people takes time because you have to connect to their spirit, okay, and you have to connect to your ancestors and work with your ancestors on naming people. And I gave him his name, and we're going to disclose that during the Christmas special too. So everybody will know that. Um, Hey, Angelique, and Jessica, good to see you. Um, anyways,
Ron House, real quick, Ron House, Angelique.
yeah,
and
Ron
Biker
House,
Bigfoot.
Biker Bigfoot. Yep, Biker Bigfoot, Ron House. He's on Facebook, and I believe he's got all kinds of he's got a couple groups too. He's in a couple groups too. And I'm really hoping he actually starts his own YouTube channel here, but I know he's a busy guy with everything he's doing. But yeah, we've got Ron House coming into the house December 10th for the Christmas special. We've got the one and only Dr. Dennis Carroll that's going to be coming on, and he's going to be reading the story, The Christmas Carol. Okay. The Christmas story. And we're going to enjoy some time with him. And then we've also got coming on as a special guest to pop in and say hello to everybody and to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. None other than my little brother, Ryan Paul Tremblay. So it's going to be, and maybe we can even get Jessica to come on and say Merry Christmas to everybody. So, I think that, I think it's going to be fantastic. I really do. So, Good morning, Val. Woo, good to see you. Anyways, that's just the announcements for right now that we've got. I didn't come on last night. I just wasn't feeling up to it. And with whatever I'm going through, it makes me very, very sleepy and tired. And I was that way the first time with the cancer. So when I don't have the energy, I don't have the energy. Right now, I'm on third cup of coffee, so I'm doing pretty good. But we'll have today's show, and tomorrow morning we'll be on again too. So, but for today, there's a couple things that I want to go over with everybody in the chat, and these are a couple things that have been popping up a lot lately. Okay, one of them is time slips. The other one is the drone issues that everybody is spotting over New York and New Jersey, South Carolina, parts of Florida. What do you all think about that too? Those are two topics that I want to get into. And then I want to get back into the immortal thing. Because, and I don't know if Stuart's in the chat yet or not, but if he is, thank you, Stuart. He sent me a short clip of a young lady that used dowsing rods. And I don't know if anybody's ever used dowsing rods. I have a couple times. I'm not a pro at it, but I have used them. And they seem to work. I mean, they really do. So, but she used the dowsing rods and asked, the spirits, questions. And one of them was, are there immortals living amongst us? And of course, the dowsing rods went, right like that for yes. And, I've said it 100 times, at least on this podcast, that yes, there are immortals with us. Okay. And in fact, there's more than just one type. You have a reptilian type of a being that can shapeshift, but you have other, and I hate using the term extraterrestrial, okay? And let me tell you why. I don't believe that they're extraterrestrial. Okay. I don't believe that they're coming from 9 trillion light years away in 24 hours. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I don't care how good your technology is. I don't buy it. You know, you have to really, really prove it to me. Good morning, Richard. Um, I think it's just terrestrial or interdimensional. In fact, a lot of the things that everybody sees that they call orbs and stuff that pop up out of the nowhere, like, well, take for instance over Skinwalker Ranch. They call it like a UFO orb type of a thing that pops up every time they send rockets up or drones up and all that other crap. I think those are interdimensional portals that are opening up. I don't think those are UFOs. Okay. The more I research it, the more I find out that I might be onto something there. So I'd like to know what everybody thinks about that. But we'll go through these things one at a time, and I'll quiz everybody in the chat. So I hope everybody's got their thinking caps on and can help us out to figure out what's going on. Okay. But anyways, the first thing is the drones. Eric, what do you think those drones are?
Man, well, I think there's multiple different ones. Some of it, I mean, well, let's just face the facts. Some of them, most of them, probably not the greatest thing since last. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Monica.
Since last Red be having, I think they're doing things not so pleasant. We'll just put it that way. I'm trying to be YouTube friendly here. And then others is just, common surveillance or just people using it. I think, there's different types of drones too. I mean, some drones I believe are more like your clones. I believe that some of these clones that they're creating have AI in them, which is used as surveillance to walk around amongst the people. There's enough evidence to suggest that is oops, crap, I hit the wrong one. Enough evidence to show that is a very good possibility. We know they're creating insect-style drones used to assassinate people and used to spy on people. We know there is so many different kinds of drones out there that it's unbelievable. Hey, Poncho, go to Facebook and look up Biker Bigfoot. That's where you're going to find him at. I know you asked that earlier, so I was waiting for a chance. Told you, I almost forgot. So sorry about that. Look and look up. Okay, you found it. Never mind. Sorry. Correct, Roxanne. This is for entertainment purposes only. So we know that there is definitely different style drones. Everything from mechanical to organic. To flying, to walking. There's so many different kinds out there.
Now, and the other thing too, though, Eric, is we're not talking your normal store-bought drones that are about the size of a dinner plate or smaller. We're talking car size or airplane size drones. Okay, so you're talking extremely high tech. Because the smaller drones that are sold commercially over the counter to people from like Walmart or other department stores are only good for about 15 minutes to 20 minutes flight time around there before the batteries start to die. We're talking drones that are the size of cars and bigger that can stay in the sky for over 5 to 6 hours at night. So, if not longer. So that's what we're talking about. Now my whole theory on this thing was, since it's happening along the coastline a lot, could it be another country maybe using this drone technology from onboard ships, out in the Atlantic Ocean? It very well could be, because those types of drones can fly several hundred miles and not have a problem.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Good morning, Kyle.
Yeah.
Scott, good to see you.
Hey, Kyle. But I mean, there's plenty of evidence to show. I mean, even like I said, the organic, the cloning, they clone humans and to create these things for spying, for misinformation, for infiltrating certain stuff. Plenty of evidence to show this. So I mean, this has been going on a lot longer than people realize. Years and years longer than people realize.
Now, if you all remember, my youngest son was outside during the night during this past summer, and he said that he spotted a drone down ground level, almost the size of a car, spying on the property where we live at. So, and we were thinking, well, maybe it's just some kind of law enforcement drone. I mean, personally, if I see a drone and it's harassing me around my house, I don't care if it's illegal or not. I'm shooting it down. So come get me.
I mean, we've had issues with that here on our property. And when we called the sheriff, said, "Look, we're gonna start blasting these things out of the sky." He goes, "I would do it." I said, "Well, I thought we couldn't because of the FFA or whatever that is, not FFA, but anyways, the airspace, the airspace deal." He goes,
"Federal Aviation
if it's spying on you, if it's spying on you, blast it out of the sky." He goes, "I'd do the exact same thing." We said, "Okay." So once we started popping rounds off at them and knocking a few of them out of the sky, we stopped having them flying around our property.
Right. Yeah. Well, I didn't.
I'm an old country bumpkin. It's an interesting skeet game.
It was just the one time that my son saw it. Otherwise, I probably would have shot it out of the sky. But I mean, and I'm sorry. I hate to say this about our own 3-letter agencies, but our 3-letter agencies, I don't trust them. There was a time, folks, when we could possibly trust them, at least 50% of the time to be honest with us and fair. But the way things have been going lately with the world, I just don't trust them anymore. So, it could even be a 3-letter agency doing it to us.
Monica, from what I'm understanding, if they're above the treetops, you're absolutely correct. But for the below the treetops, that's considered your property, and that's invasion of your privacy. That's how the sheriff's explained it to me. I didn't look into it myself. That's just what the sheriff said, and the sheriff's like, "Man, I'll do it in a heartbeat."
If they are flying over my property, over my house every night for months at a time, I'm shooting it down. I don't give a rat's ass if it's 10 feet above my house or 100 feet above my house. It's coming down, because that's harassment.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how the sheriff explained it to me. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I've heard that from him, and I've heard that from some other people too. If it's below the treetop, that's considered your property. That's no longer airspace. That's they're on your property. But if it's above the treetops, that's a different story. Which I don't give a damn either way.
If it's there every night for months at a time, keeping your family awake and making your family a nervous wreck, and you have to go to work early in the morning, and you're dealing with worrying about what's going to happen while you're gone, for months at a time. People shouldn't have to go through that. Okay. They should not have to go through that. This is still America. This is still free soil. Okay. This is still, a freedom to protect your family. Okay. And you know what? You have that right. I don't give a rat's ass what any court says, what any law enforcement says. And I'm sorry, I know I got a lot of law enforcement brothers and sisters out there. You know, I love you all to death. I really do. But that is blatant harassment, to harass people that, you know, I mean, I can understand if it was maybe a meth lab area or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or maybe like a threatening, you know, domestic,
a T cell.
You know, yeah, like a T cell. Yeah. You know, those things I can understand. Okay. And I can even respect that they do that, but to just do it to annoy people and to make people freak out about what's going on, I'm sorry. I'm not going to tolerate that. I won't. I refuse to. It's bad enough we've got military helicopters flying over our place almost every night, you know, half a dozen of them at a time, you know. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know, absolutely ridiculous. And we live out in God's country. We're out in the middle of nowhere too, you know, and all this activity is happening. So I think I think they're doing, and this is just me, I think what they're doing, and this is just my theory, folks, okay, so, you know, don't laugh. I think what they're doing is it's a psychological test, okay, and B, it's a possibly kind of like a LiDAR type of a thing where they're actually, yeah, exactly, Larry, exactly. Where they're using LiDAR or some other means to map the ground, okay, to map all the streets, all the underground subway tunnels and other tunnels. And, you know, I think that's just a way for them to map the entire country one little bit at a time, you know, probably more along the coastline, say maybe 150 miles in from the coastline around the entire United States. At least they're trying to map all that, you know, whether it's for military purposes or whether they have plans on doing some type of domesticated roundup or whatnot. Who knows? You know, who knows? 15-minute cities could come to play to that. But that's just my theory. That's why they're doing it. And I don't know about what anybody else thinks, but
I'm sorry, I didn't know you was in here.
Kyle's.
Yeah, I just got my hands full because I now have two furry little taco meats in my lap now. Well, taco meat and rat dog. I didn't know taco meat was in here.
Everything is supposed to be 500 feet off the ground, according to the FAA. They can't track anything below 500 feet. It's ours above our property up to 500 feet. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing too. And the thing is one of the key things though is you need to have the sheriff department on your side. People don't realize the federal government does not overweigh the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department can come in and arrest federal agents for harassing citizens.
Right. People and thank goodness the sheriff here and where we live is like a brother, you know. So so he's involved in a lot of the charities up around the area. So, you know, that's how I know him. So
yeah. So
hey, girl with a gun.
Yeah, kind of good. I didn't realize taco meat got in here. I mean, taco meat's my little buddy. He's my oldest daughter's dog. So he's my little buddy too.
Here, hold.
He gets excited.
Taco meat up.
All right, come here, Taco. His name is Bucky, but his nickname is Taco Meat. Then I got Snow, which I call my rat dog. I heard your back off. That was your back.
I was watching a guy last night. Tracy and I watched this guy named Chrome, and he lives in a van, and he does, you know, vlogging and stuff, and we subscribe to his channel. and he did a live last night, and I was watching him for a little bit late last night, probably around 11 o'clock or so, and he's got a bulldog with him that's like 3 years old, and he doesn't call it a bulldog, he calls it a house hippo. He, but yeah,
That's the thing about boar. Boar is like a bull in a China's cabinet. You know, that dog, man. I love the hell out of him, but he's also a big pain in my backside too. But
right.
I mean, because he's still in that, but he's getting in that protective stage now. Now he's getting to the point whenever he doesn't recognize somebody, he's getting to where he's barking. I was like, all right, you're getting to that protective stage. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good.
And just so you know, the guy that we follow, Chrome, he living in his van and stuff, he has his own business called vanonly.com. And he's up in Canada. He actually camps out in Vancouver Island. That's where his shop and everything is. And he goes way out where nobody actually really goes with his van. And I asked him last night, I said, so how's Bigfoot doing out there? And he said, never seen him. And he's been out in the woods of Vancouver Island for the better part of 7 years. So I'm just saying. Go get her.
Sorry, taco meat. Saw Yessie was showing me her cookie she's decorating, and he's like, I want to go with Yessie. So
yeah,
all right, I'll let him out. But yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is going on, and we have to be cautious. We know. Oh gosh, never mind. I can't get it. That's a rumble. That's a rumble topic. Never mind. Scratch that. Forget what I said.
Well, I mean, we do have to be careful what we talk about, but we can come up with theories on causes for drones to be over people's property, private property, because when you're dealing with that kind of technology, you know, and it's you know, every picture of the drones that I saw were all at least above 500 feet in height. So you know damn well whoever's flying them knows the FAA laws as far as the Federal Aviation Administration goes, you know, so they must know the laws, you know, so, you know, that tells me right there that it's either a 3-letter agency or a military, you know?
Yeah.
It's
interesting.
Yeah. What's everybody's thought on possibly the UN? I mean, you know, the UN could be even doing it.
We know that they're coming across the border like, you know, a flood. I mean, and they shouldn't be here. Exactly. They have no business being on American soil. All right, never mind. I got to stop because I'm going to get into rumble mode. For entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we're allowed to discuss it. You know, we're discussing it like a bunch of friends sitting around a coffee table or a kitchen table drinking coffee. So, you know, if they have a problem with that, then by all means, you know, I'll go to court over it, to tell you the truth. But you know, there's other topics too I want to kind of get into, and that was just one of them. The other one, I've been doing a lot of research, everybody, on time slips. Okay, and I know Jessica has had a couple shows about this too, and hopefully she's still in the chat because I want her to comment on it if you can, and anybody else that has done research on it. You know, with the whole quantum theory thing, quantum entanglement, everything, but how they're all twisted together and how where they cross over and meet, that's where we are in time. And when you leave a clock, like say when you leave a clock, okay, like say when you sleep, okay, what happens to time when you sleep? Okay. See, here's the thing. We have this theory out there that time is literally 500 years behind what it actually is. In other words, it's not 2024, it's more like 1727. This theory comes up because of the Vatican at the time tried to make it seem like Charlemagne and all that happened, when actually the Byzantine Empire and all that didn't happen, because they don't have, proof, from doing excavations and stuff that those incidences ever happened in time. So you subtract that time from 2024, and apparently the theory is called the 1727 theory. Okay, which means we are literally in 1727 and not 2024. Now, I did some research on that over the past week, and the only thing I could find on about the Byzantine Empire and Charlemagne and all that was Google information. There wasn't any geological studies done. There wasn't any people doing digs, like they do for all the Mayan stuff and stuff. There wasn't people actually hand dirt trying to find these time frames that they're talking about, that they slipped in there in the time frame. Okay, so there's that kind of a theory where we're technically not 2024, we're technically 1727, which I don't know. It's just a theory, and I couldn't find anything to back it up. I couldn't find anything to say that Charlemagne and the Byzantine Empire even happened, other than Google. And I don't trust Google. We all know AI, no offense, AI. I don't want to offend you now. So, good boys and girls. Okay. We don't want to offend AI. We don't want to make AI our enemy, because we don't want them to go Terminator on us.
That's my ears. That's my ears. Yeah. But, it's interesting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I've experienced time lapse multiple times. I've always chalked it up to maybe I fell asleep awake. There's countless times I don't know how. I do not remember. I remember heading home from work, and then the next thing you know, I'm at home. I don't remember anything in that 45 minutes between that time frame. There's times I recall being in an area, and next thing you know, several hours have elapsed, and I don't know where it went. I have no memory of it whatsoever. So I'm thinking, the whole time, to me, I thought, okay, I fell asleep awake, which, is possible. You can be asleep while awake. But hey, Overbuilt. But now I'm wondering, when hearing all these accounts of time lapse where it's very similar to what I experienced, is that what I experienced? I don't know. I can just tell you there's multiple times where I got several hours, if not an hour of time missing.
Now, there are certain instances I remember, because in my research during time slips, back in the 1880s, there was a group of individuals. I'm not going to say who it was, but over in the UK, they were going down a river. There was like maybe a half a dozen or so of them. I guess they were exploring or whatever, and this was in 1880. And they pulled their boat up on shore, and they all got out, and they said that this old Roman guy with bad teeth and a long beard wearing the Roman uniform came up to him and goes, "What are you doing in, the emperor's land?" And they all started laughing, at him, and said, "Well, what emperor are you talking about?" And he said, "The great Roman Emperor Caesar," and they're like, "Well, Caesar hasn't been around for, a long time, And next thing you know, those people were, the way they described it in their diaries was that they were transported in time, and they were around thousands upon thousands of people, Roman people, that were cheering along the shores of the river, and down the river was coming Caesar and all of his legions that were on boats, and they were coming down the river, and they were hailing him like, "Hail Caesar," how great he was and everything. Mm-hmm. And they were stuck in that time slip for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden they just started fading out, and next thing you know, they're back in their time. Now, my question to everybody: why do you think that happens? Why are so many people having these time slips where they're 10 or 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour, even a day, spending it in the past? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that happens? Juno, I'd be interested to hear what you have to say, brother, because you got all kinds of weird crap happen down around there. So, and Angelique, you too. I'd be very interested to see what everybody actually thinks about that. And by the way, if you don't follow Angelique, I suggest you guys do, because my hat's off to her. She's like a sister to me. She's like a baby sister to me. She does some really good Sasquatch research, Bigfoot research. And she's got a lot of good theories and stuff, just like, we all do. And I back her up on everything she finds and discloses, as 150%, being, true, from my acting with them. So yeah, definitely you might want to look up Angelique on Facebook and follow her, guys, because it's phenomenal. They have a group of their own that goes out, and I'll have her put that information in the chat if she wants to. She's more than welcome to. But follow her and the group, and join the group too, because it's a good group. And that's the only way we're going to actually get to actually have conclusions and final results on all the stuff that we're all researching, is if we work together. You have to network. You have to. There's just no way you can do it by yourself. And a lot of researchers out there are starting to realize that they can't do it by themselves, So it does help the network. Another good Bigfoot person to follow is Scott Valette and Hannah. Scott and Hannah have their own stats. Look them up on YouTube. They're excellent. I suggest you follow them, subscribe, because long after I'm gone, folks, these folks are going to be out there hammering the woods and the mountains and stuff. Okay, just like Eric. Long after I'm gone, Eric's going to be here. He's going to be the one picking up the torch and carrying it on, because he has the same mindset and theories that I do for 99% of the time. I mean, we don't agree on everything, but that's just the way it is. You're allowed to disagree. So, hey, a little twisted. Good to see you. But yeah, Ida, good to see you. I would suggest you follow those people. Yeah, Scott and Hannah with Squatch America are exceptional people. You're right. Yeah, they are. And Hannah just had her birthday too. She's finally 21, so Scott's not illegal anymore. So that's a joke. That's a joke. I don't need her coming after me. Um, anyways, the whole time slip thing is just, and you know how people find like the tracks ending in the snow, and how I kind of had that theory that maybe, hey Sue, good to see you, Sue. Maybe just maybe where Bigfoot's tracks end in the snow or in the mud, and there's like nothing else around for them to go to, that they just cloaked and disappeared. No, that's not. I don't believe that they cloak and disappear. I'm sorry. What I do think is two things. Okay, two things. A, you're going to deal with a residual type of a spiritual energy. Okay, in other words, a deceased Bigfoot that frequented that area. Just like we all know when we do ghost hunts, you put the baby powder out and you can find tracks in the baby powder from the spirit world trying to move things on a desktop or whatnot, or on a floor. I think that it's that. And I do believe also that there's time slips. That's just my two theories with why the tracks end. What do you think, Eric?
Oh, yeah, and so I can honestly, the time slips and stuff like that. I've been doing them shows, the realistic dreams, which I'm kind of behind on. Just because, and I'll be honest with you, I've not made the video. I've got the artwork done. I've got everything set up. I just haven't made the video yet because, what I captured Tuesday, that has had my full attention on that here lately. Oh, Ida, you were awesome. We got a super sticker from Ida.
Oh, Ida,
thank you so much.
Eric. Thank you very much. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. You guys have no idea. That means a lot. Because things are getting expensive with the whole setup now, and Eric can tell you that it's not cheap anymore, and it's a blessing when I get my family on the chat that does stuff like that. That means a lot to me because that helps out so much. It really does. So,
heck yeah.
Anyways,
in my dreams, my realistic ones, ones I've woke up and have had marks all over my body from an incident that happened in my dreams, and especially in areas that I can't reach with any part of my body, and I've had marks on me when I woke up.
Right?
Is that time skips? Is that me being a drone in another time or another location? I'm like, gosh dang.
We're gonna have a new podcast called Eric's Wild Kingdom.
No, I'm sorry, guys. What are you doing in here? Well, you should have left Wild Kingdom. Come on.
Oh God, that's funny. Anyways, I'm not talking about time slips like alien abductions and all that. We all know that does happen. I've had my own experience with that once. Once that I'm aware of, and Jessica's, did a remote viewing on that, so and confirmed everything that I thought. So, thank you, Jessica, for that. But
yeah, I mean, I've had them instances. Is that me being in a drone, a organic drone? Is that me remembering a different time frame that happens in the future? I don't know. I can't explain.
Well, there's that theory too out there. When you sleep, your spirit goes to another universe, parallel universe of you, and you live that lifetime while you sleep. Then when you wake up, your spirit comes back to you, and you're in your own time. And they say that that's why a lot of the basically the glitch theories and stuff happens, and the Mandela effect happens from that. And I'm not a big proponent of that or a big endorser of that actually happening, but I do remember some very, very vivid dreams of me being me in another dimension. while I sleep,
I have too,
and waking up the next morning completely tired.
Yeah, I mean, I've had I was me. I looked just like me, but I had a totally different family, a totally different job, in a totally different location. That me personally, I right now cannot stand that kind of lifestyle. But in my dreams, I'm living that kind of lifestyle, and it's so realistic that I swear it's real. And I wake up exhausted, like I've never slept. Oh, the girl and you're gone. You're amazing. Thank you
Oh,
so
girl
much.
and gone.
You're
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. You guys are really awesome.
Heck
I,
yeah.
I, you guys almost make me want to cry, to tell you the truth, because that means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
So, what is it? Am I warping to another dimension? Am I warping to another time? Am I living in a different body? I mean, I don't know. I really have
right.
no freaking clue.
Yeah. Time
So,
slips. There was that case back in the 1960s, I believe, late 60s, early 70s. And I'm not saying that this couldn't possibly have been LSD. Okay. So let's just get that clear. We'll use a disclaimer on that, for entertainment purposes only, folks. But, anyways,
yeah.
it was like late 60s, early 70s. And this guy was walking down a street in London, in the UK. And he said, all of a sudden, everything changed to like around him. Big Ben, the tower in London, still said people were driving horses and carriages and all that. And he said he got stuck in that time slip for several hours. He even interacted with people during that. And when he came out of it, everything went back to the normal 1968 to 69 to 70, time frame,
Mhm.
and he couldn't believe it. He recorded it right away in a diary, and people talk about that stuff happening to them all the time. Now,
Mhm.
could that possibly be connected to all the missing people, that go walking off by themselves? Because there was that case in what was it, Nevada or Texas, where that farmer walked out into his field and his body disappeared, but his family could still hear him talking. So,
Mhm.
is that a time slip?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the video I put out a couple weeks ago. Realistic Dreams Part One, Past Horror, where I'm an old Lakota man, and I get shot by the cavalry that came in early one morning, and how do I say this properly on YouTube? Swept through my village, and where I had a piece of pencil lead in my back, I woke up and had that mark on my back in that exact same location, the size of that number 50 pencil had
Right.
hit me in the back. Is that me reliving a past life? Is that me in another dimension, another time? I don't know, man. I really have no idea what them things are like.
Yeah, I mean, is it possible? Is it possible that we could be experiencing more time slips because of the quantum entanglement tooth theory? And
Mm-hmm.
from what CERN has done to us. We all know CERN is definitely done something to affect our world, if not once, but
Mm-hmm.
more than several times. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we have so much weird stuff going on nowadays that it's almost so numerous that you can't keep track. Literally, between the paranormal, the supernatural, and the cryptid, and you literally you can lose track very easily if what's this?
Um, Be
Oh
sure,
man.
family, to say a prayer for Dennis Carroll. Dennis asked for prayer last night. He's not doing well, family. I love the rascal dearly.
Yeah, we all love Dennis. Dennis is my South Carolina brother, my older brother. Um, in fact, I'm going to reach out for him after the show today and be talking with him. Um, I pray that everything works out good for his health. That man has a way of pushing himself. He does. I mean, he's a diehard. He is a diehard. You won't find anybody, harder working than Dennis Carroll, especially at his age. Um, when people are relaxing and stuff, he's out there, boots on the ground, and doing podcasts and doing his own show and other shows and researching and investigating. I mean, he's nonstop. And I told him a while back that, I worry about him pushing himself, but we got to give the man credit. He's a diehard. So prayers, Dennis, for speedy recovery, healing, and comfort. And I will talk to you later, hopefully. But yeah, getting back to the whole time slip thing. I mean, that's just, quantum entanglement or CERN or both, you know, it really is. It really, really is. It's something.
Yeah. It's I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, that is a subject that I am not real familiar with. I've had plenty of experiences doing with it, but it's something I've not dived into a whole lot.
Right.
I have dipped my foot into the water of it because, well, curiosity. Why am I experiencing this stuff? Why are other people, so many other people, experiencing that stuff? But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's yeah, yeah, it's cool. You know, when I had that first experience that I can remember, the first dream that I can remember that was like that is when I was 16, and that was, when I did that video on realistic dreams part 1, past horror.
Right.
That's available on my YouTube.
Okay.
That is the one that I remember, and I had that when I was somewhere around 16 years old.
Yeah. Now
Most of mine has been in the military.
Yeah, the whole supernatural thing with CERN too, though, with them wanting to open up, other dimensions and portals and stuff to the spirit world, to actually the fallen angels, to hell, basically, or what our theory of hell is. You have to keep in mind that CERN has done so much devastation to us over time that we don't know where we're at. Half the time. We really don't. Oh, thank you, Larry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. You're badass, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, Larry's great. Larry is awesome. The
Dude,
the whole
Brew.
the whole time slip thing. I mean, you can actually almost see how it goes in parallel with a lot of the other weird stuff going on too, though. The whole immortal thing. I mean, I have this theory where, that with the immortals, and I'm just saying that this is just a way to control humanity. Okay, I'll put it out there. It's all about controlling humanity. All right, I've said it from day one. Okay, now the hidden truth, is it immortals that are blood-sucking energy vampires? Is it immortals that are reptilian and that are controlling everything, and making the time slips and stuff, and making people think that they're somewhere they're not, through technology or through mind, manipulation. And I know for fact that when you're dealing with mind manipulation, I like this picture because you can see that it's got several different famous people on it that you can't deny that it's them. I'm sorry, but you can't. You know, you really can't. There was one, I don't know if I have it on my computer. I know I've got it on my cell phone, with oh God, what's his name? The famous actor that is the black actor that Morgan Freeman is who I'm thinking of. Let me get the picture up and I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. This, and I'm just going to use my phone to show everybody instead of bringing it up on the computer. Let's see here.
Sue, I'm sorry to hear that. You know,
18.
Much love and prayer.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I can't.
Hold on. 1818 to 2018, and it's literally the same exact picture, the same exact person. There we go.
There it is. Wow.
Literally. Come on, phone. There we go. Same person. Okay. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, the whole immortal thing, people can laugh about it, but you know, the whole vampire werewolf thing was started with an immortal bloodline. So why doesn't it make sense that we have immortals living among us? Look at the Roman soldier that was basically cursed by Jesus when Jesus was carrying the cross, and he was, you know, spitting on Jesus and harassing Jesus and punishing Jesus as he carried the cross, you know. And he said, Jesus told him, you know, I will have my rest, but you will never have rest. So, you know, he was cursed to live forever, you know, and they say that guy has gone time through time. I can't even remember the whole name of him, the Roman name that he had. Maybe you do, Eric.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
No, I'll be honest with you. I forgot myself.
Yeah, I've got so much going on up here that, you know, that little bit of information is kind of irrelevant to the story, at least. But yeah, the whole fact of him being cursed and by, you know, and being told that he would never have rest, you know, meaning that he would live forever. And there has been reported incidences of this guy showing up at certain functions of very prominent political figures and royal families and famous movie people and stuff, you know, parties and all that, and disclosing that that's who he is, you know, and disappearing and not being seen for another 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you know. So it's amazing how that can actually happen. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mystery out there in the world, man. A lot of mystery we just can't explain. So much stuff. So
I'm just, you know, I'm a big believer that the whole immortal thing, whether they're reptilian, whether they're vampire, whether they're reptilian and vampire, I mean, you never know. Whatever they are, they're carnivores, because we know darn well there's over 330,000 missing immigrant children that we have no account for. There's over 2,000 missing Hawaiian children that are unaccounted for. And all these elites are going now underground in their bunkers, you know. So it makes sense, folks. I'm just saying it makes sense, you know. I don't want to, you know, you know, it just makes sense, you know. We can deny it all we want, but you know,
yeah.
in 18 or no, yeah, 18 1819, the Rothschilds, who are descendants of Ra, believe it or not, Rothschilds, okay, basically found out that the royal family of the UK was financially broke in 1819. Okay. Now I've posted this online too, and I've discussed this with people. We all know that King Charles is a descendant and heir to the Vlad the Impaler's throne and castle. In fact, he has been living in the castle. Okay. So we all know that he's acquainted with that Vlad the Impaler bloodline. That's been confirmed, by the way. That's not fiction. That's not, whimsical. Yeah. That's not theory. That is actually fact. Okay, that has been confirmed through all the major news agencies and stuff like Fox News, Next News CNN. Network, and CNN. Yeah, all of them. And anyways, 1819, they were broke. They were completely busted, and they had no idea what to do. Well, the Rothschilds come in and said, we'll financially back you the rest of your lives and all the lives of your royal family for the future if you give us exclusive breeding rights to your bloodline. Okay. So starting in 1819, the Rothschild bloodline intermixed with the royal bloodline, okay, of the UK, and since then they've been doing that since that time frame all the way to the present, and it's like they're a mutt breed. They're literally a mutt breed now, but they've got the DNA of Ra flowing through their veins, which is supposed to be a reptilian DNA, and which would make sense because everybody saw, when Vladimir, who in our country, discussed about the queen changing into a reptilian in front of him when he had a one-on-one meeting with her, and she stood 15 feet tall and was a reptilian, and it shook him up, so we know that part of the bloodline has been confirmed by several different ways. We know that they are involved with the missing children phenomena, okay, over in the UK especially, and the UK has just as many missing children as the United States does, if not more. So we know there's that connection, but for the Rothschilds to actually intermix, and I guarantee that the Rothschilds, being the richest family in the world, I think they're worth like something like $47 trillion. Something like that. And they literally are mixed in with every bloodline you can think of that has something to do with either politics, royalty, banking, investments, and mercantile. Okay, any of them, their bloodline is mixed in with it, and I believe that is the bloodline that when we're talking about Immortals, we're talking about that bloodline. That's just one of them. So,
yeah. Hey, Carl. Yeah, I mean it's truly. I mean, oops. Oh, you did that. Okay, never mind. It's truly amazing what you can find when you start following the rabbit hole. I mean, and the rabbit hole can send you down a twisty, windy, branchy trail.
hey,
But what's at the end of it? one of them trails is awesome. I mean, just
Mhm.
some of it's awesome, some of it's like, holy crap, dude. Seriously. I mean, that's just
Well,
sad but true.
and we all know that the actual bloodline, anyways, of the royal family isn't the legitimate bloodline, anyways. So for them to intermix with the Rothschilds just gave them more power. So it made sense
Mm-hmm.
that they would have the Rothschilds financially invest in them and build their bank account back up, if so to speak. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and also have, you know, lineage to the Rothschild, um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
estates, if you know what I mean. So I mean, it was a win-win for the royal family at the time in 1819. They had
Mm-hmm.
nothing to lose because they were illegitimate royalty anyways.
I mean, look at what happened during a certain W2 time frame with a certain group of people from a certain country with a certain organization that is bred into that. The actual true royal. Never mind. I am getting
Yeah,
rumble.
that's another rumble
Rumble.
thing.
Rumble. I gotta watch
Rumble.
myself.
Yeah, Rumble's calling us. Rumble's calling us.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyways, yeah, we'll figure something out here. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and I
Yeah.
see
The
Sue
girl. I
says
mean,
she shot
you
the
rabbit
drone.
hole.
Yeah. Did you see Sue
Yeah.
James' comment there?
Yeah. I had that
Good
up.
for you, Sue.
Yeah. I had that up. Heck yeah.
Good for you, Sue. That's good. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of her for doing that
Heck yeah.
because that's it's like Kyle said, 500 feet. When they're above 500 feet, don't worry about them. Don't touch them because that's the FFA's problem. But if they're below 500
Mhm.
feet above your property and above your house harassing you, shoot them down. Shoot them down. I don't give a shit. I will. I'll come to your house and shoot it down.
Mhm.
Seriously, I'll come to your house and I'll shoot it down.
Yes, the girl.
Uh,
That's why that's what I was about to say, but I was like, nope. I've got to change that subject pretty quick.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to pop out. There, I don't want to take no
Yeah,
chances.
that's very, very true. Very true.
I'll become a hillbilly. I like being a hillbilly. Yeah, I'm just a hill folk, man. I grew up here in the hills in the Ozark Mountains. I'm just a hill folk, man. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a hillbilly.
It just
I'm a hillbilly, and I'm proud of it.
heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. I love it.
I'm literally a hillbilly.
But
My Shawnee and Cherokee bloodline came from my mother's side of the family, and you know she was actually taken off of the reservation without documentation and raised by a preacher in Logan County, West Virginia. So I'm more hillbilly than most people.
mhm.
I'm literally a hillbilly. I mean, I've got cousins down there in West Virginia that still run moonshine. So
Yeah, oh man. I do like my white lightning. Oh my god. I do have a weakness for white lightning, especially an apple pie flavored one or a green apple.
Angelique Sparrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too, man. Hell yeah. Oh man. I love it. Yeah, I really do. People don't believe me when I tell them I live out in the middle of nowhere, and then they come to my house and they're like, "Holy crap, dude!" Like I told
Right.
you, dude. So I love it out here. I love being out surrounded by woods.
Yeah, my mother and her sister were taken and as when they were babies and from the reservation, and they were raised by this preacher family, um, oh God, what was their last name? God, Robinson. Robinson was their last name. And they were raised literally in Logan County, West Virginia. And in that time, that in those days, it was, they got picked on a lot and all that. They got into the dark arts and all that, and into that mountain magic and all that, and mountain witchcraft or whatever you want to call it. And mixed it with their culture, and like a lot of people do that are immigrants that go there, the Irish and the Germans especially intermix witchcraft and magic with the culture. So yeah, see, Roger knows. He says he lives in Eastern Kentucky. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in moonshine capital of the world there, Eastern Kentucky and Southern Virginia.
Y'all make me damn thirsty.
Southern West Virginia too.
Y'all making me thirsty, man. Daggone it. Y'all making me thirsty. I got a weakness for that. I do, man. I love that stuff. Yeah, I make my own homemade medicine using that stuff when I got it.
I've been wanting to make it, but by the time I get a still milk, I'd be dead. I'll tell you what I used to do. I used to love watching Popcorn Sutton, on the Moonshiner show.
Oh, yeah.
Popcorn Sutton, famous moonshiner from my neck of the woods down there. So, yeah.
Yeah. I've been kicking around building mine out here. Now I got kinfolk in Virginia. I got kinfolk at the Red Res. And I've got kinfolk all over, when the three brothers and we got, changed when they came here to the U.S. through North Carolina.
No way, Kyle. No way. Look at Kyle. Kyle said he met Popcorn.
Huh.
That would have been awesome. That man I'll tell you what, that man was a walking encyclopedia when it come to distillery. So just saying, just putting it out there, folks. One of the most popular monetary systems in West Virginia and Kentucky history was moonshine, and still is today one of the popular bartering type of money systems. So if you're worried about the almighty dollar, start moonshining.
I never watched that show a whole lot because I was like, for one, as illegal as that is to do, you're filming a show about it. So that's automatically going to bring the law enforcement his eye on you. And then you're sitting there telling your secrets. It's like, this show is fake as hell. I'm sorry, because the law enforcement, the FDA, all them guys are going to come because you're putting the information out there. It's a mission to what you're doing. I never did get into that show.
Yeah, I used to watch it, and I just like to watch it because it reminded me of what my ancestors went through. My mom had to go through down, growing up down there, in those times because moonshine, and that was where it started, man. It all started down there at Hatfields and McCoys and, Logan County and Eastern Kentucky. I mean, it is what it is. Now my father, being Lakota, he didn't last that side of the way, that they connected and did things and stuff. So my father was, the stoic. When he walked in the room, everybody just shut up talking and just, worried about what he was going to do because he had that stone feature, because I've shown you stuff in the book that I have on him, very, very stoic, and just, whenever he entered the room, man, I don't care who was in the room. If it was the president of the United States, even the president would shut up and when he entered the room. So, and he actually knew Gerald Ford. He actually knew Gerald Ford, President Ford.
Mhm.
He wrote to him all the time and met him once. So, but yeah, it's something with the way the history goes. But that's history that we
Well, I
can
mean,
confirm.
yeah,
We
it
can
is,
confirm
and,
that
and
history. So,
mhm. And you bring an interesting subject up. I mean, people we know, bloodlines we married into. Like a lot of my kinfolk in the Virginias, married into the Hatfields. So I mean, we've got that running through us. A bunch of my kin, we get think about the history of humans. I mean, and that's why I'm very big saying we're all family. I mean,
mhm,
if you follow your bloodline down, at some point in time, we were kinfolk. You know,
mhm,
one way or another, we were kinfolk. So people forget about that. They forget.
right,
They just think of the now. They don't think of the past. So that's why I always say, man, we're all family, regardless if we get
exactly,
along or not. You don't always get along with your kin.
exactly,
Welcome to life.
exactly. Yeah,
Welcome to it. So
yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. But the history, man, that's what I love. I love the history. History
yeah,
is such an amazing subject.
yeah. If it's
So
factual, but just like everybody sees on Facebook and stuff, when I post something, I
mhm,
really, we've been spoon fed a false narrative our whole lives about history. Um, you know, and one of the biggest cover ups in history, I believe, is the Grand Canyon. Um,
mhm,
if you look at the Grand Canyon and you compare it to copper mining and any type of mining like that, and you put the
mhm,
two side by side, you can literally see that the trails that they used, for going down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon are the same exact setup as somebody exploring for copper. Okay. Now, here's the
mhm,
thing with my whole theory on that and why we have Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon, and we do. It's been proven, and the Smithsonian's hiding it.
mhm,
Okay. And our government's hiding it, and they're hiding it for a reason. Um, when you take a look at the globe, okay, or the Earth, and you look at where like the deserts and stuff are in the Middle East, and and all that, and over by India and all that, um and you go back and you follow the history of the wars and stuff. The first pyramid war was because Ra from Egypt wanted to control everything and be the god of that whole area. Okay. And
mhm,
I believe at that time frame, all the land masses were together. Okay. It was the Pangea continent. Okay.
mhm,
And during the first pyramid war, okay, Ra actually won, and they detonated weapons like we have today, the atomic and nuclear age back then. Okay. Because you can
mhm,
literally, and I know for a fact because I've done this, you can literally stick your hand into the sand of the deserts over there, and you'll pull up small glass beads. Okay. And
mhm.
small glass particles. Okay. You don't get that kind of effect on sand unless it's over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay.
Yes.
And
Look at
so,
India. India's the same way.
exactly, exactly. And that was caused by the first pyramid war. There were two pyramid wars. Okay. The second pyramid war, Ra had to leave the planet. Okay. Because he
Mhm,
was getting his ass kicked. Okay. And that's the whole Sumerian time frame. Okay, during that. Okay. So, there you have weapons that were, and you have that documented in during history and stuff. And honestly, I think that all correlates with the time frames of the 1727 theory. Because if you add up those war times and all that history, and you add it all together, you probably have about 500 years of history that if you wanted to hide it, what's the best way to hide it? You make a false history, remove that history from the books, and put the false history in, and you've got 2024. Just saying, the 1727 theory may actually be legitimate.
Yeah. Sue wants to know where does the chat info go when the show is over? I think it stays in it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's. I think it stays in it.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. It's Roxanne says chat after show, not all show up.
Just the highlighted ones will, or the most frequent, depending on what YouTube does.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just, and people wonder why I'm always bringing up learn history, because I mean, that's where we're going to find the truth and the knowledge.
Right. Exactly.
And
really, let me tell you guys, I have been trying to figure this stuff out for years now. I have been doing so much research and investigating on everything that is going on. It's like my mind is like I always say, my mind is constantly going. And, I make these, what seems to be to me, might make sense to me, may be absurd to other people. But it's like when we made the connection with the vampires and the royal bloodline and the red-haired giants and all that, back in that, that time frame, and how we actually, connected it to the missing children and all that. Literally, we made everything connect together, connected the dots. And we tend to do that a lot. And that's the way my mind thinks. I not only am I thinking about this new thing, this new theory, but at the same time, I'm thinking about all the past theories that I had, and I'm trying to combine them together. And, that's just the way my mind is working. Honestly, my mind never used to work that way. I don't know, call it what it is, but, something happened and made my mind work that way in the last 10 years. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought for a second.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's just so much that disconnects together, and it just, sadly, I don't think this is the first time in our history we've had to reconnect dots because our history was erased and started over. Blanked out, whatever it is you want to call it. We're just the current time frame of people putting it together. So
that was weird.
It's here all the time. What's up, bro?
That was weird. I don't put creamer in my coffee, but it just looked like there was creamer in there.
You're drinking a ghost.
Yeah, that's literally what I looked at. I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" But it literally disappeared. It literally disappeared. So weird, very weird.
Hey, it could be a ghost going. I need my morning coffee. I know my morning coffee's kicked in, and I've got to take care of another morning situation.
That's what I got left from my pot of coffee I already drank. And I literally had it.
Wow.
It was up to here. So that's how much coffee I drank. I drank equivalent to 12 cups of coffee.
I'm pretty much there. This is my third one of these full of it.
Now it's empty. Oh, yeah, not bad. 12 cup of coffees in an hour and 34 minutes.
Overbuilt says, William, is it not snot in your coffee? Did you sneeze in it?
No, overbuilt. I didn't sneeze in it. Although I do have to sneeze, but no, I didn't sneeze in it.
I'm glad my daughter found my old leather hat, man. I forgot how comfortable this thing is. I had to make a hat band.
Hey, Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee,
good day, mate.
For washing the backside.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm like a little kid in the candy store. I'm like, I've been looking for this for so long.
Go like this. Go.
Good day, mate. That ain't a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah.
No one forgets. Look on your pillow, and your mind might still. Man, I think my mind took and packed its bags and said, "I'm gone. You're working me too damn hard. I'm gone. I quit." Oh,
I don't know.
It can be until it gets to that certain moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just fashioned this thing in like a few minutes last night. So I was like, I need something for it.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. I took and used Sinew and took and used most of the beads I had left from that style, and then took that old wooden bear claw, and put on it.
Yeah. I made a hat band for DA a while back. I don't see him ever wearing it anymore. He wears so many damn hats right now. So
I don't have the proper beads and stuff to make one like that, because I'm running low on my bead supplies. And
well, to be honest, all I do is I go to a couple sites that I get my beads from, my small seed beads, and I don't even use a bead loom. I do it by hand, and it's hard, but with being Lakota, we do the lazy stitch, on buckskin and stuff. I'm sure a lot of the people in the chat know what lazy stitch is when you're doing beadwork. I'm sure Angelique knows. But there's a way to do it that I do it that it looks like it's bead loom quality. It really does. And it keeps the beads nice and straight and solid. And I'm not going to disclose that way of doing it unless I disclose it to you, or or Angelique, or somebody that has the blood in them that can continue it on. So,
man,
and
the last
I'm the sewer.
I'm
the sewer in the family, so I'm the one that does all the sewing and the repairs and stuff, and the beadwork and all that. So,
well, the last time I did any type of that beadwork, the last time I did any kind of that beadwork, and I'll be honest with you, I absolutely do not remember how I do it, but I did it. But it took me damn near 6 months to complete it, and I messed up a few times when I was making my regalia for dance.
Yeah,
and my God, I was like, now I know why. I'm not a good sewer by no means, but I didn't have someone to make it for me, and so I was trying to make this stuff myself.
Well, it's like anything. Yeah, it's like anything, though. You have to learn how to do it over time. You're going to make your mistakes. And the best thing about making mistakes is you don't make them again when you're doing beadwork, because it's too much of a hassle to fix it. So when you make one mistake beading, you never make the same mistake again. So
yeah. Oh God, dude. Yeah. And it takes so long, especially when with your regalia. My God, it takes so long to get that stuff put in there.
yeah. I
So
love the
tedious
peyote
too.
stitch. I've got a drumstick, a powwow drumstick that I have that I did peyote stitch on the handle, and it wraps the seed beads all the way around the handle in a beautiful. It goes from like a white to a yellow to an orange to a red, and just kind of makes that sunset look on the handle. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
Well,
but yeah,
mine always done those. I've done a lot of those diamond and triangle patterns in mine with the sacred colors. When I did mine, because that was the only thing that I knew. I mean, I didn't have a teacher, so
yeah.
I mean, it was just me doing this. I mean, what few people I did have to talk to, was giving me some advice.
Yeah, this right here, Angelique, they always taught me, my elders always taught me that when I do any beading, you always make one mistake and leave it in there. Always, even if you have to do it on purpose, because that is a way of giving that power to that beadwork. Putting that part of you into that beadwork is making that one mistake. So I always do put one mistake in my beadwork, always, no matter whether I have to do it on purpose or not. So
yeah. I wish I could remember how to do it, man. But I mean, that was years ago, and my hands just don't work like they used to. So trying to do beadwork now, it's going to be. I don't know if I can do it anymore.
And you're a young buck yet, you know.
I don't. I wish my hands and my body ain't. Yeah, but and I know generally the women did a lot of that stuff, but I mean, I don't have that, so it was always me doing it.
It was always me doing it too. And to be honest with you, the one that taught me how to do it is my mother, because she was always the one that was making the clothes and stuff and making the ribbon shirts and, all that. And the vests, the multicolored vests and stuff that we would wear. The grass dance outfit tops and all kinds of stuff, And I learned all that from watching her. So
even when I do this style work, every bit of this has a meaning for it. Here's my Norse. These silver beads, that's my Norse heritage. So I'm always, everything in there has a message and a meaning into my work. The bones, I'm a hunter. The bones was what was mainly used in it. The skulls, I was a warrior, and I fought for my people. And the black ones, that's a side of the darkness and the light. Every single bit of my work, even in something like this, even in my necklaces.
I want to ask Roxanne what riding a bick is like.
She corrected herself. I'll give her props. She corrected herself. She's always picking on me about my typos, but she does it just as much as I do, if not more.
I just want to know what riding a bick is like. Must be sore on the ass.
Even like when I make my necklaces, which I ran out of some beads, so I gotta get some more beads for that one. But even with my shark's tooth, even my beadwork, all this, it has meanings behind it.
Yeah. I've got the necklace you made me. I've got the necklace you made me in my medicine bundle. So I carry it in my medicine bundle. So
yeah,
I wear it every now and then. I wear it every now and then, but it's in my medicine bundle. So
heck yeah. Yeah, I got that, and I've done a few things for that just to kind of help you some.
Oh, believe me, it's getting supercharged in there. Trust me.
Heck yeah. So, heck yeah. But I try to. It's getting hard to find the bone beads and the wood beads like I used to.
Yeah.
That's why mostly it's going to plastic now. That is what you're going to find most of the time. I wish I had a way to get more because most like out of this one here, most of these are wood, leather, and plastic beads.
Right.
Or
See, I don't,
bone
you know,
beads.
and I'm sure Angelique will back me up on this, and Kyle too. Um, when it comes to making stuff, I do it old way. I use
Mhm,
sinew, I use bone beads, I use brass
mhm,
beads, I use glass beads. Even on the chokers and stuff, I'll use actually
mhm,
the glass pony beads, whether it's Czechoslovakian or whatnot style. I'll
mhm.
use those. Um, I won't use any glues. I don't use any plastic. Anybody that's bought jewelry from me knows darn well I don't use any of that. There's a way that you can melt the sinew to make sure it doesn't come unraveled. There's all kinds of ways to do use your sinew in between the beads to go back and forth to
Hmm.
lock them in place. I mean, there's all kinds of little tricks that you don't have to actually have,
Right.
um, you know, glue or plastic on them. So that's just me, though.
Right.
Everybody,
And I
depending
try
on, and stuff is getting hard to find too nowadays too. That's the thing.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's what I try to do. Like, the bear claw, the bears is the spirit of strength. So that's why I wanted the bear claw on there. Bear claw's the wooden, but I mean, because I don't have an actual bear claw. I don't want to show my medicine bag, but I've got, everything on my medicine bag is natural. But,
Right.
when I make my necklaces or I'm making my bands, I'm always using sinew. And I
Right.
use wax sinew because it holds up to the weather a little bit better. So
Hmm.
this sinew has a wax coating on it, um, kind of like a beeswax coating on it. So I
Hmm.
like to do that. Keeps it a little bit more vibrant, easier to work with. That's why I use that.
Yep. All
Um,
righty. Yeah, Crazy
yeah.
Crow is good,
So
but they've been getting expensive lately. Crazy Crow has. Um, I
mhm.
I would usually get beads from there or from Matoska. I don't know if Angelique knows about Matoska. Um, they're another good place to get beads. Or Turtle Island beads is another place to get beads. Turtle Island, Matoska, um, all kind. I mean, there's all kinds of places out there to order beads from.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to get back into it. My hands cramping up is what makes a lot of this hard. Because eventually I want to go back to the 4 strand on this one with the leather spacings that helps keep everything nice and tight. Um, with the designs and the sacred colors. I have not been to sweat, so I have not earned my sacred colors. I've not earned my name. I've not had that vision yet for anything dealing with that. So for now, I stick with the regular natural colors because I don't have any of that.
you don't have
Um,
anybody around there that you can have as an elder to take you out and do you a humblatia, a vision quest, and set you up with the
the
sacred
one that
colors and the circle.
the times that I did, sadly, they passed on to the great hunting grounds before I can get down to do it.
Hmm.
So, and I've so many of them is left, and I don't have contact with a lot of people anymore. So I don't have it. Hey, Candy, if I
Well,
ever
if I
make
was
get
there
a chance to
close to
make it
you,
down
I'd,
to
I'd
Florida,
I'd help you out. If I was there,
well,
I'd
I've
help
kicked
you
that.
out. And so, but I
Mm,
mean, I can actually. Oh God, I got to get a knot out of my hair. I could actually.
yeah.
Hey, Candy, good to see you. Um, I could actually do it from a distance too, though. modern times being as they are,
Yeah.
I could set you up with the stuff and tell you how to do it, and have you go out for 24 hours and do it that way.
Mhm.
It'd be a short humblatia, but at least you'd be able to, say you've done a
Well,
humblatia.
I've kicked around possibly coming over there to do it because it'd mean if I can find the means, the money, and get the time where I can come down to do it. I have kicked around coming down to have you do that with me because it would mean so much to have you do it for me.
I,
You're my
I,
brother.
I
It
know,
would
I know,
mean the world to me.
I know. I know. It would mean the world to me
So
too, but I'm honestly, I think I'm on borrowed time, guys. I really do.
yeah,
That's why I'm getting all my ducks in a row. Um, and there's a couple people out there. They know who they are. Um, Brent, Benjamin's one of them. That if they didn't donate on my medical GoFundMe, um, I probably wouldn't be here. Um, so
mm,
just so you all know, they mean the world to me. You know, and just some of the stuff I'm going through right now. I can tell that it's getting close. It's getting a lot closer because I'm starting to interact more with the supernatural, a lot more. My interactions within the last week have doubled in
mm,
multiplying, in interactions with other beings. In fact, when we started this morning, I was going to tell you all to look behind me because I have I have an older elemental over here on this side that basically is my protection. Um, she has been around since the beginning of my people. And to tell you how big these things are, well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to say thing. The elementals, as big as they are, the knee of the elemental would be right about here by my head. So, but I have an elemental off to the side of me, and directly behind me is um, this is going to sound weird coming from a native. The only way to describe what is standing behind me is that it is about 20 feet tall. It has wings, um, three wings on each side of the body, and it has legs. Um, I haven't really found arms on him yet. I call him a him, um, but he's pretty much like a guardian angel. And he has protected me my whole life, apparently. And he has never given up on me, but he always stands directly behind me. But if you knew from my sitting here, okay, there's probably from me to the computer screen where the camera is probably 2.5 feet, maybe 3 at the most. Behind me is a window behind this, and I have the window covered up with cardboard for soundproofing and all that. And I have the backdrops, and so I have it pretty much muffled. But there's about that much space between my back of the chair and my back to the window. Okay, now the only way I can describe it is when I know he's there, standing there, is I'm dripping with sweat from the back of my head all the way down my spine. Okay. I'm literally sweat, and it's probably maybe 60 degrees in this room. Okay. And it was like, I don't know, 28 degrees outside this morning. So I don't think it's warmed up very much right now. Okay. I think the high today is supposed to be like 40. So for me to be sweating is unusual because I'm usually cold because of the cancer. But and there's all kinds of orbs and stuff around me all the time, and wisps. I call them wisps. You guys know from the beginning I've been talking about them. But I literally feel like this room is. Yeah, I do get a glowing light too. Yes, you're right. Very true. Um, I literally feel like these beings that are around me. I interact with them a lot. Okay, and in fact, Tracy and I were walking Jacob one late night. Must have been around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, when we walked him probably about 3 weeks ago. And we went out, and she asked what I was doing or something, or what I was talking to, and it was before, when I was laying on the couch and I was meditating and praying, and talking to a basically angelic being. And we went out there and with Jacob, and no sooner did we get outside that within a couple minutes, it was like just the one tree in our yard, and there's another one right next to it, not even 10 feet from it. Wind came straight down on the tree itself and blew all the leaves off the tree. And you could tell that the wind would hit the ground and it kind of bellowed out, but it was just coming down on that tree where we were standing in front of. And I looked up, and there he was, above the tree. And I even went so far as to hear the flapping of his wings. That's how interactive it was. I could hear his wings flapping and causing the wind to do that. And ever since then, it's been like 3 weeks now. I have had him with me the entire time. He hasn't left my side at all. So that's another reason I know that things are probably getting to the point where everything's getting ready to happen, if you know what I mean. So, and it's, hey Dario, good to see you. It is, I've said it 100 times, everybody's not afraid of anything, and I'm not, and I'm certainly not afraid of death, because to me there's no such thing as death. To me, it's only a change of worlds. So, thank you, honey. Now, I want to put that up. Yeah, I know. I'll figure out a place for it. Whoa, stay there. She just brought me some soup and stuff. I guess I'll on my lap. But yeah, it's I've been interacting with them a lot more lately, so I know that something is building up. Now, whether it's something building up to a good thing or something building up to a thing where I'm getting ready to do my thing. I haven't been told to sing my death song yet. Angelique can tell you about that. I don't know. I just, I have comfort with him being around and with the elemental being around with me. Because I know I'm safe. I know I'm protected by anything, and nothing can harm me. As far as that goes, as far as the dark arts go. So, that being said, that's where I'm at, guys.
Yeah. So, well, bro, I've got something I've got to do. I just looked at
Yeah,
the
we're at the
time.
2 hour
Uh,
mark.
oh, we are, ain't we? Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've got to, get my daughter ready. She's got to get ready to do her play tonight, and then I've got a couple other things I do. I do want to say one thing for those who missed it beginning of the show. I will not have a show tonight. My second night of my daughter's play is tonight. Um,
Oh,
so I was
Pyro.
there last night. And I'll be there tonight, and
Hey,
so there won't
Pyro.
be a show tonight. And yeah, I had that up for a minute there, hoping you'd see that. I am working on a video of something I captured Tuesday night. I'm hoping to have that done maybe tonight to have it released. I've not worked on Realistic Dreams Part 3 to finish it up because I have been working on what I captured on Thermal Tuesday night. So I'll get all that said and done. As of right now, my plan for Sunday is I want to plan on doing a show about um, Beowulf, because it's Viking related. You know me. Um, so that is the plan so far for me and what I got going on. And of course, being on here tomorrow morning. And then I gotta get off. When I get off here, I gotta take my daughter up to get her ready to do cleanup for the play. So yeah, I've got a busy weekend this weekend.
Good, good. Well, a busy weekend is good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank everybody in the chat. And I want to remind everybody too. Um, I have a surgery coming up December 20th, just before Christmas, and it's looking like it's going to be green lighted for me to go ahead and go through it because they canceled the last one because my blood pressure was too low. They couldn't get it to raise up. So the 20th of December, I've got a surgery, a procedure that they're doing. I'll be under anesthetics or anesthesia, and it'll be a couple hour surgery. And then the 12th, I have my PET scan, and thank you to Benjamin, because if he hadn't have donated what he donated to me on the GoFundMe, I don't think I'd be able to even be considered to do that. Um, because he's phenomenal. He helps me out every month, and and so does Anita Allen and a few others there. That God bless them. They are good people, good people, good hearts. And as long as there's good hearts like that in the world, we've got a good thing going on. So, but December 10th is the Christmas special at 8 p.m. Eastern. So far, we've got me and Eric. We've got Biker Bigfoot, Ron House coming on. And then we've got Ryan Paul Tremblay coming on. And, depending on Dr. Dennis Carroll, my brother from South Carolina, depending on how he feels, hopefully we can get him to come on and do the Christmas story for us, the reading. And that's what we have so far. We might even have Santa's little helper, Jacob, come on for a spot, and, then tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to start talking about the dog man, werewolves, and all the canine type of cryptid activity, because we had something happen here locally that I want to discuss with everybody. Something that happened to me and Tracy a couple years ago. So thank you, Pyro. Thank you. But we will see everybody tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Okay. Like, heart, and share this out, everybody, please, if you could. And, just hang tough, stay tough. Okay. Things are going to get better. Things are changing, definitely, but things are going to get better. Don't worry about things. There's a few of humanity that can carry the goodness on and keep up with the good works. Stay in contact with each other. Okay. And I'm saying all this because I don't know what's going to happen on the 20th. Okay. So when I say that, I mean, you guys in the chat, you guys need to stay connected. Okay. You need to. If there's one thing you've learned from me, it's you all need to stay connected because you're all family. Okay. Plain and simple. Okay. And long after I'm gone, there's going to be you here that are willing to carry on what we do here. Plain and simple. Okay. So God bless everybody. Love everybody to death in the chat. You're all family. And with that being said, I'm going to play the closing, and we're going to get out of here and let Eric go about his day.
Peace, love, and blessings, everyone.
Peace, love, everybody. Yep.